The wisdom of Jesus was greater than the wisdom of A, the Queen of Sheba, B, Solomon, C, Jonah, D, Zechariah. The wisdom of Jesus was greater than the wisdom of Solomon. The preaching of Jesus was greater than the preaching of A, the Queen of Sheba, B, John the Baptist, C, Jonah, D, Zechariah. The preaching of Jesus was greater than the preaching of Jonah. Jesus said, your eye is the of your body. When your eye is sound, your whole body is full of light. But when it is not sound, your body is full of darkness. Jesus said, your eye is the lamp of your body. When your eye is sound, your whole body is full of light. But when it is not sound, your body is full of darkness. The best interpretation of the word lawyer as found in the New Testament is A, judge, B, scribe, C, theologian, D, Pharisee. The answer is C, theologian. Who was the first murder victim? The answer, Abel. In what year was Jerusalem destroyed and burned by Titus? The answer, 70 A.D.
We'll now take verses 53 and 54.
As he went away from her, the scribes and the Pharisees began to press him hard and to provoke him to speak of many things. lying in wait for him to catch at something he might say.
All right, here we have now, this is what often happens when somebody has been adequately answered. All they can think of is controversy. And we have it here. They press upon Jesus one idea, not even given the content, one idea, one question, one argument after the other, trying to get him to say something that they could use against him. Now we're going to turn to the multitudes. This whole controversy has attracted many people, which is often what controversy does. And we're going to begin now in chapter 12 of Luke, and we will read the first 3 verses.
In the meantime, when so many thousands of the multitude had gathered together that they trod upon one another, he began to say to his disciples first, "Beware of the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. Nothing is covered up that will not be revealed, or hidden that will not be known. Whatever you have said in the dark shall be heard in the light, and what you have whispered in private rooms shall be proclaimed upon the housetops."
You notice the crowd is getting big enough here that they actually are endangering each other. He talks to the disciples, and lets them hear this first. He said, beware of these ideas of the Pharisees, because they're play actors. The word hypocrite means actor in Greek. And then we come to 2 startling, almost terrible statements. We've had some controversy, Watergate, and other times in our dealing with politics, criminals, and so on. Not that we lumped all those together. But the matter of electronic bugging of offices, homes, and so on. Friends, in a sense, what Jesus is saying here, that every man's room is bugged. Listen, nothing is covered up that is not being recorded by invisible infrared cameras. Now, I'm not reading the scripture, of course, I'm paraphrasing. But that's what it amounts to. Nothing is covered up that is not being put on God's film. There's nothing hidden that will not be made known. I had these 2 little boys one time in a junior class in California, and I asked them, how much does God know? Oh, one of them said, God knows everything you do unless you go under a shed. Well, friend, God knows what you do under a shed, too. In verse 3, it says, whatsoever you've said in the dark, it's bugged, shall be heard in the light. What you've whispered in private rooms, on board ship, in the cockpit of airplanes, in submarines, friends, what you have whispered in private rooms shall be amplified, hooked up to loudspeakers, and shouted from the housetops. There's no hiding place down here, as one man phrased it. Verse 4 and 5.
I tell you, my friends, do not fear those who kill the body, and after that have no more that they can do. But I will warn you whom to fear. Fear him who, after he has killed, has power to cast into hell. Yes, I tell you, fear him.
Now, these are going to be our 2 closing verses of this session. And Jesus says here, do not be afraid of being murdered. Do not be afraid of those who can only kill the body. Be afraid of God, who after the body is killed, still has power to cast into hell. It says to fear him. In other words, God is to be our fear. God is to be the one we respect. We're not to fear man. We're to fear God, the one that we have to deal with, clear out into eternity. I trust your experience then, friends, shall be totally satisfactory. That the Spirit of God shall guide you, being ready now for what God has planned for you.